Hi, welcome back to the Distressed Princess. Here are the DIYs I'm working on today. In this DIY, I'm going to make a farmhouse spice rack using this cookie sheet from the Dollar Tree and this 2-pack of little wire baskets, also found in the kitchen section of the Dollar Tree. It is so unbelievable how cute and farmhouse this turns out for just $2. So the first thing I did was use my Rust-Oleum chalked paint in linen white, and I'm going to paint the back side. The back side of the cookie sheet is going to be our front side. I like to use Dollar Tree wax paper to cover my surface anytime I'm painting. Instead of a bristle brush to paint this, I decided to use my stencil pouncing sponge brush that came from the Dollar Tree because I was really trying not to have those bristle marks. But after my first coat, it was kind of hard getting that round sponge brush up around the edges like I'm doing right now. So I just switched to a regular, foam brush, those black ones that you get at the Dollar Tree. So that was 2 coats of chalk paint, and I only painted the back side, which will be our front side. Now for the little wire baskets, and I'm wanting my whole entire piece to be white. This is your choice. You might want your baskets to be black. You might want them to have a rust effect, but I wanted mine to be completely white, and these baskets were not really bright white, and I wanted them to match, so I did a coat of the chalk paint on these baskets too. So this is the layout of how it's going to look, and I need to mark where I'm going to drill holes because we're going to attach the basket to the cookie sheet with wire, and I need some holes for the wire to go through. So I arranged my baskets the way I wanted them to be, and I didn't show this on camera, but I also got out one of my spice jars to make sure that I was leaving enough space in between the baskets to get my spice jars in and out easily. Then I measured and marked out where I will drill 2 larger holes at the top, and this is what the spice rack is going to hang with. I used 2 very, very small drill bits to do the holes that this wire is going to go through, and this is just some wire that I've had from, years and years ago. I bought this wire and I haven't used it up yet, but I'm trying. So anyway, I'm going to cut in total 4 pieces of wire, 2 for each basket. And so you'll just much easier see how I'm going to attach these by watching, because it's probably going to be hard to describe. But I bend the wires, each wire, into like a U shape, and I fit it down in my holes that I drilled, securing the basket in place. And then on the back side of the cookie sheet, I twisted the wires as tightly as I could, and if there's any tails, if you have any leftover wire, it sounds silly, but point those tails up and your basket will hang more securely. And here you see I had just a little wiggle where the basket was wanting to come up a little bit. So I pointed those tails of the wire up in the back, and my basket stopped wiggling. And then, of course, I attached the bottom basket in the exact same way. Now, these are my spice jars that I recently purchased on Amazon, and they came with these cute white labels. But look at these chalkboard labels that you can get at the Dollar Tree, and the rectangle ones would fit perfectly on these jars. I will leave a link in my description box for these spice jars and labels on Amazon. I wanted to share something with you today that I've just recently found, and it's kind of become my new obsession. And even Prince Piper. Look at these pretty pieces. These are rose gold, rhinestone, and pearl pieces that I got from Totally Dazzled. I have been amping up my girly game by using these pieces to decorate all kinds of stuff. Now, this is a small picture frame that I got at the Dollar Tree. It was already rose gold, which is my favorite. The embellishments also come in different colors like silver and gold. And so quick, I transformed a $1 picture frame into something so pretty, and I think this would be perfect for table numbers for a wedding. If you're having a wedding this spring or summer, imagine printing out with your printer in just black ink an elegant table number inside this frame. These things really make me wish I knew someone who was getting married so that I could decorate their wedding using all Totally Dazzled embellishments. And look at this. This is called bling wrap, and you can put this on candle jars. Imagine on the glass vases that you get at the Dollar Tree. And look at all the pretty stuff that you can make using the Totally Dazzled embellishments. They are just so much fun to use in all kinds of DIYs and projects. I'll leave a link below to the Totally Dazzled store. This DIY is so quick and easy, you're going to be amazed. And it's using one of the long signs from the Dollar Tree, and I had Easter ones on hand, but they have these for all seasons. So whatever long Dollar Tree sign you can find, that'll work. And if there's any embellishments on your sign, go ahead and take those off, even though I just feel terrible plucking those bunnies' eyes off. The next step is to paint the back of your sign with white chalk paint, and I only used one layer. And this is a tool called a wood graining tool that you drag across your paint and it makes wood grain. And this is my very first time using this tool, but I've watched people on YouTube do it many, many times. So the trick is when you drag it across your board, you kind of rock it back and forth. And look how cool that is, guys. I want to do this with everything. I am learning so many new techniques and using so many new different products these days that have made me so excited about crafting. Now, I got my tool at, it's a hardware store we have around here called Menards, but I know you can get them several different places. If I can find a link, I will link this wood grain tool in my description box below. And I don't know if I said it, but this is used on wet paint. This paint is not dry. Now, I forgot about the little holes that comes on these signs because there's a hanger, and I probably should have done this first, but I just used this caulk that you get from the Dollar Tree to fill those holes. And then I used my hair dryer to dry all the paint and the caulk. To decorate this board, I'm using one of the wall decals from the Dollar Tree. And I really thought that this was in pieces. I guess you could cut it apart if you wanted to, because I was going to try to space it across the whole length of this board, but you know, you work with what you got. And this was all in one big long piece, and that worked out just fine. stinking beautiful, right? Except for one thing. The back side is still that tore up Easter sign. So I'm going to cover the back using brown craft paper from the Dollar Tree, and that is just hot glued on, and then once that's nice and secure, flip it over and cut the edges with a utility knife. Imagine the possibilities with this wood grinding tool. You could turn anything that wasn't wood into something that did look like wood, and different colors of paint could give it more definition and detail. I'm loving this thing. And for this DIY, I'm using a charger plate that I got from the Dollar General store, but I know that these plates are carried in a lot of different places. And I painted this one with the Rust-Oleum chalked in linen white, and I kind of haphazardly put it on because I'm going to wipe it back away. And here is the magic. Using a wet paper towel, I just went over the whole plate and took up that top layer of paint, and it leaves the paint down in the grooves of this fake wood, and I loved how pretty that was. Look how that gray shows through, and the white down in the grooves just pops. Somehow I lost the footage where I showed you the back side with the plate. I'm sorry, but it's just black, and I was very careful not to get any of the white paint on the back of it. Then I made sure that the charger was completely dry before I added my design, and this is another wall decal that I had gotten from the Dollar Tree, and I've used pieces of it obviously, and this one I'm going to use the Blessed. And these things are perfect if you don't have a Cricut, or you don't want to mess with getting your Cricut out, or you're intimidated like sometimes I am. It's just so easy to use these already made vinyl decals. And I'm going to display my charger using this plate holder, and it came from Walmart. Here's a look at all the DIYs we made today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful Easter weekend, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye!